Potent Ponder, and I'm back with another video. Yo, please come and thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video when you come in. We gotta talk about it. I want to talk about Selena Gomez. Got the nerve. She has the nerve to be getting on camera. Shut that up. Crying all in the camera, talking about, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I want to talk about Donald Trump. I also want to bring up this clip from this FBA channel that I seen floating around on Twitter. So he had a powerful message inside of that too. And then I also want to take it to Chicago and show this clip of this black woman who was happy with the ICE raids and all of that. So listen, we're going to get into it. I don't want to drag this out, so it'll be 30 minutes. But please, most of all, thumbs up this video. Let's get into Donald Trump talking about the 14th Amendment, the Birthright Citizenship, and how this applies to the children of slaves, black people. Let's get into that right now.
We are fighting hard to get birthright citizenship or automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens. That's another way. It's automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens. That's the other term that they use, which is actually more accurate, more understandable. And it's ridiculous. We're the only country that has it, and certainly the only country that has it to that extent. And it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for children of slaves. This is when it happened. The children of slaves. It was not meant for everyone to come into our country by airplane or charging across the borders from all over the world and think they're going to become citizens. It's not meant for that. It wasn't meant for that. And hopefully at some point the courts will understand that without having to go through a whole big deal. This was meant for the children of slaves. And look at the timing of it and you'll see. And I hope judges will understand that. And it has to stop, because it's really hurting our country very bad.
So listen, it has to stop. See, they trying to get over here and trying to ride our wave, The 14th Amendment was for the children of slaves, black Americans. I don't know which other way to put it, but they try, and it's like, it's a shame that when you hear, like, you know, these mayors, like the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, and, you know, Chicago, they trying to make it seem like these people got rights. If you are over here, this is why I understand what Tom Homan said. He was like, you know, even the people who are over here working productively and they're not causing crime, you are illegal over here. See, I ain't gonna, listen, I got some different videos I want to get through. We need to take it over to Selena Gomez. Listen, I'm gonna save my sentiments to the end of her video, but listen, we gotta check this out.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
Listen, Selena Gomez, shut those tears up. I'm not laughing about anybody being displaced, and people shouldn't have been over here in the first place. Donald Trump, they need to get in preparation for our reparations. You over here crying, sucking up and siphoning all the resources from the black Americans who deserve it. You want to know, in Chicago, we're going to get into that when I get into that clip. Over there in Chicago, within the last, they said on December 8th or December 18th, we'll get to it, that they had like 51,000 just in that state alone. They said within the past year or two, they spent 600 something million. That's money that's taken out of the people. That's money siphoned and sucked out of different programs to support migrants. You're not even over here legally. You got the nerve to be crying. And then the other thing I want to talk about on Selena Gomez, sweetheart, you're worth 1.3 billion. If your family's from Mexico and you feel bad for them, why don't you put money over there so they could do some sort of a Habitat for Humanities? Do whatever it is. Create jobs over there, Selena. I'm pretty sure it's other Mexican artists could link up with Karol G, with Tusa, put Plusa together. Do whatever it is that y'all got to do. You over here crying. So I'm sorry. Take some of that 1.3 million in earnings and do what it is that you got to do. I'm sick of these people that think that they just deserve it. No, we deserve it. Get in preparation to give us our reparations. Listen, I'm not going to drown it out. I just wanted to let y'all know that. Listen, Selena, you want to see some sort of change? You want to help your people out. We don't owe them anything, because when we go through whatever that black Americans have to go through or across the diaspora, we deal with it on our own. All right? Talking about, I'm sorry and shut that up. Dip added that 1.3 billion that you worth. Google her. She's worth 1.3 billion. I don't know how the hell she's worth it, but and I felt like she was crying extra performing and trying to signal the plane, gal, trying to signal the plane to everybody so that she could be looked at as some sort of humanitarian so they could go in turn stream her music more. I know exactly what they're doing. Listen, Trump is signaling the planes and he telling them to go back to Mexico, back to Colombia, wherever. Listen, I wanted y'all to check this other video out by this black man. He's going to explain it very, clearly. Listen, so shout out to him too. Let's get into this right now.
We're not saving you, Miss Gonzalez, Romero, Alfredo. We're not saving you, Pedro. We're not saving you. It's not going to happen. How come you keep seeing all these migrants and illegals talking about Black Americans? You don't see them asking the Asians to come help. You don't see them asking the Jamaicans to come help. You don't even see them asking the dominant society to come help. They skip over this community. They skip over that community. They skip over that community. They skipping over the community that's standing right next to them. They keep saying, we want Black Americans to help us. How come the spotlight is on us to help y'all? I'm going to tell you why. It's because you've never gotten anything without foundational Black Americans. You will never get anything without foundational Black Americans. You won't even eat without foundational Black Americans. That's what happens when you are a part of a system that gives you luxuries and benefits based on what we create. That is the problem with being a tether. When a tether is untethered, they sink and they drown. I'm going to say that one more time. When a tether is untethered, they drowned. Because that means they need you to stay afloat. They need you to eat. So simply, when you unravel a tether, they going to starve and they going underwater and they ain't coming back up. And right now, we watching all of them not come back up. Up is America. Underwater is a homeland, and they can't swim. Anytime they say Black Americans come help us, they really mean Black Americans, we need y'all because we can't build nothing by ourselves. Anytime they say Black Americans, they going to deport y'all too, that really means we going to get deported and FBA come help us. Everything you're hearing come from these migrants all goes back to them needing us. They just ain't real enough to say it. They could come out and just say, FBA, we need y'all because we run, we hide, we flee, we jump. So now they're saying they're going to deport y'all. Translation, we need FBA because my ass about to go home. FBA, we all Black and brown. Translation, FBA, we need y'all because our ass is about to go home. FBA, we all people of color. Translation, we need y'all because y'all ass is about to go home. Every single thing they say is really a cover for what they mean. I call it tether translation. And in their case, FLIR translation. But either way, the translation basically means is that the time is up, time is out. I done iced around and found out, and deportation done found my ass, and I'm going to be back home by sundown. That's what it really means. And cool. Checkmate. This is the beauty of them being on team deportable and us foundational Black Americans being on team non-deportable. Seem like team non-deportable always wins. Family, think about that. We have taken over the United States of America and the whole world just by saying, hell no minority, hell no migrant, hell no illegal, hell no immigrant, non-deportable, team non-deportable, FBA lineage first.
So listen. FBA lineage first, like point blank, you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand, like, all of these immigrants feeling such entitled, number one, to, illegals feeling entitled to America. And then, like I said, I just couldn't get over Selena crying like that. You're worth $1 billion. Create programs over there in Mexico. Give back. Do something. Talking about you crying and you this and that. Listen, like I said, I'm happy that Ice Baby is out here making it melt. And listen, you're going to get the cards that you was dealt. Listen, we can't set up shop and go anywhere and do the things that people. Why do you think that it's just okay to come over to this country and travel here illegally? Why do you think it's okay? That's why Ice Baby is making it melt, and we getting in preparation for our reparations. Listen, I don't know when that's going to happen, but it needs to happen because listen, y'all sucking up all of the money, and that's just a Chicago alone. You're going to see in this next clip that I play, y'all sucking up all the money and the resources, right? Imagine if those monies weren't spent on the national level, then we would have some damn reparations. Y'all taking out of our mouth now. Listen, this is a fight that you're going to have to fight on your own. Bottom line, let's take it over to Chicago and hear what this black woman was speaking to the news and telling them how she feels about ICE and the raids and, the impacts of Trump being in office. Let's go.
Kata, thank you for coming back on. And your reaction to what you saw happening in your city after speaking up about this as long as you have over the weekend.
My reaction has been somewhat excitement, but then also, you can't see this happening and not have your heart hurt for some of the people who are going to be deported. And that's for the people who are hardworking, people who have come to this country. Now, those criminals who came here, which is what Tom Homan is targeting right now, we feel good about the fact that they're being taken back to their countries and taken out of our neighborhoods. We are already dealing with high crime, and so it's good to know that someone has our back. I've been listening to our mayor and our governor the last couple of days, basically doubling down on not even being willing to assist in helping them to get criminals out of our community. And one of the things that you'll hear Mayor Brian Johnson say, that crime is down in the city of Chicago. I live approximately 3 blocks from the mayor, and my husband was carjacked in front of our house on Monday. So I don't need to hear people talking to me about how we're being insensitive to other people when we're fighting our own issues right here in our community. And so to compile those with criminals from other places is unacceptable.
Yeah, well,
so we're excited about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you know, the administration has said, and you heard Tom Homan there, these initial arrests and deportations are targeted. They are going after criminals, known criminals, and those who have obviously committed illegal acts, even have ties to gangs. To your point, this is the mayor of your city, Brandon Johnson, defiant. Listen.
We are a welcoming city, and we are a sanctuary city. We are a sanctuary and welcoming state. That has not changed because of who won the election. And that's not going to change. Any of the measures that the president is looking to execute against working people in the city of Chicago, we will defend our city. It's just that simple.
Are there any Chicago residents who are opposed to this administration coming in and taking out and sending back those who have criminal backgrounds, are wanted for criminal acts, or even worse, have violent ties to gangs?
I'm sure that they're not. And I'm sure that you'll hear people say that there are people who are opposed to it. But for the majority of the citizens here in Chicago, we're not opposed to it. Let me tell you something. Our mayor is intent on protecting people who come from other places. We need our mayor to be intent on protecting the people who were born here, the people who were raised here, the people who have stake. And not that those people don't have stakes in these communities, but for those of us who have been fighting tirelessly to bring about change in our communities and have been told time after time again that there's no money, and to watch billions being spent on people who are not from here is a problem for most of Chicago. And it must be a problem for most of the country, because you can tell that in the way that people voted.
Yeah, and we hear the frustration and the urgency in your voice, and the numbers back up your concern. This is the total number of migrants in your city that have come in through December 18th. The influx topping 51,000. Just to give people an idea of what the city of Chicago has been dealing with, and to your point about the spending and how much this is costing the city in just a 2-year period, just over a 2-year period, $630 million. And Kata, I know you have been pointing out all that money that is being taken away from improving the school situation, the healthcare system. Obviously, the streets are dealing with a lot of crime. Final thought from you.
Final thoughts are, Tom Homan, you are welcome. I voted for President Trump. And let me tell you something. I was one of those lifelong Democrats. I started voting at 18, voted in every election, voted Democrat in every election except this last one, because I'm just tired. I'm tired of the same old thing happening from the Democratic Party. I'm so glad that President Trump is now delivering on some of his promises. I heard Stephen Smith ask this earlier on Bill Maher's show. What has the Democrats delivered for us lately?
That is an important message and an important question right now. Kata, thank you so much, and always good to talk to you. And Tom Homan will be joining us live at 1 o'clock on America Reports today, and we'll certainly play out your words for him. Thank you very much.
So shout out to Sister Kata. Listen, let me just say this to you too. This right there kills the notion that there are black women who voted for Trump. And what you have to realize is maybe you don't live in a sanctuary state or city, but these people do. So you got to realize they're going to vote differently based on what they see. I can tell that her stake, the same stake that I have, is the immigration. Chicago has its own issues. You already know, we hear about it on whether it's the TV, the news, the radio, how they'll say that Chicago had 23 shootings in one weekend. And then you're coming and listen, did you hear that they said on December 18th, they received 51,000 people dumped into the area. Within 2 years, they spent $630 million. You know how many programs have been defunded in just Chicago alone? You know, with that mixed with the crime, you know how many jobs they could have created with that money? But you taking the money and you're giving it to illegals. Now, Sister Akata stated that, you know, she feels bad because of the people who were there who were just working. You still came here illegally. You still came here illegally. So listen, I want to wrap this up because I don't want to make this video too long. All I want to say is shout out to Trump for acknowledging that the 14th Amendment was for the children of slaves. And I'm pretty sure anybody who, you know, black Americans, you could trace back your lineage because listen, I've traced mine back with my grandfather. I'm looking through census paperwork and all that. I know exactly who I am. I'm tracing back like, yeah. So I'm with, listen, we are the true birthright citizens. They thinking just because like, yo, they flying planes over here and you coming over here in your last trimester and you giving birth to your baby that it gives you some sort of right to the country. We got to stop that. We need some straightening. Chicago getting 51,000 migrants in the month of December was just disgusting. They trying to come over here and record alarming numbers, you know what I'm saying? But now Trump is in office. We need to secure these borders. We need to make sure that people is not just, no, we need order. We need order. Listen, politics is all about like what interests you, right? If you're a person and you want to, you know, I don't know everything about it, but different policies I am passionate about, and immigration is one of them. Pick a policy that you're passionate about, study it, research it, and, you know, get into it that way. I can definitely relate because I'm telling you, when I went back home in 2022 and I seen after the pandemic, after seeing what New York looked like and the hellhole that the damn hotel district looked like on Wolf Road in Albany, and I'm going into a 4-star hotel that I used to stay in when I would come, you know, stay in, and it would be nice and built up, raggedy, ran down migrant shelters. No, we gotta get this shit right. We gotta get it straight. So listen, potent, pondering, never pandering. Please subscribe to this channel if you made it this far. Get in the comments, let me know each and everything you thought that I discussed, from the President Trump to the Selena Gomez to that clip from the FBA channel. Make sure you check him out. I'm gonna find the channel. I'm gonna link it in the description. Also support the channel. The Cash App is in the description. I want your comments below in regards to anything, everything, any way that you know that you feel about this. Listen, I'm up out of here. Peace.